What up, y'all? It's KP, the sports chick. So, if you don't know, Josh Gordon is probably never going to be a Cleveland Brown ever again. So last Thursday, he left the Cleveland Browns to enroll, or I guess admit himself into rehab for a abuse problem. Primarily, it's being reported that it's primarily an alcohol abuse problem. So while the situation it's sad for him, because he more than likely is going to rehab, because it's either that or jail, or to be kicked out of the NFL permanently. Like he doesn't really have a choice in the matter, because after he actually was supposed to be done with his 4-game suspension on Monday, but he was put back on indefinite suspension, or he was put on indefinite suspension. So that means, until further notice, which means that Roger Goodell has to reinstate him. So that basically means that he's probably more than likely going to be out for the rest of this season. I don't know how long the rehab program is that he entered or admitted himself to is. I don't know how long it is, but regardless of what it is, how long it is, it doesn't seem like not only will Josh Gordon not play again this year, but he is, the Browns are done with him. And then also, he has to prove after rehab that he can stay clean and sober. So, and then also, the Browns have put them on, obviously, on suspension, right? So that means that it does not affect their roster. But they're essentially done with him. He's missed 31 out of his last 36 games due to being banned. And at this point, Cleveland is washing their hands with him. They're saying, we wish him the best, and, he's not going to be with us, and we wish him well, but we're done talking about him, essentially. So they're done talking about Josh Gordon. They have washed their hands with him. They're basically going to let him sit on the non-active roster and not pay him. He's not going to be getting paid. So the situation's sad, because the fact that Josh Gordon I'm not familiar with addiction, so I understand it's a disease. So maybe somebody can help me understand how you can have such an opportunity and let it be wasted in this way, because there's a good possibility. A lot of the time when people go to rehab, as I've researched, again, I've had family who have had addiction problems, but I've never been addicted to any substance myself. So again, I'm speculating here, but from what I've read and spoken to people about, usually when patients go to rehabilitate themselves, it takes more than one time to do so, if it even is successful, period. So it's going to be a long road for Josh Gordon, but the question, I guess, is what's going to happen to him after he gets out of rehab. Will he be reinstated in the NFL? How long will it take for him to do so? The other main question is, I guess I was touching on it, which how do you let yourself relieve yourself of such an opportunity? Because addiction is real, it's a disease. So same thing with Johnny Manziel. We don't, he's gone to rehab, he's left rehab, he's gotten himself into trouble, and in these situations, it kind of feels like these are preventable situations, but because they're under the influence, they can't control what their decision making. Because to us who are clean and sober, it looks like, what are you doing, you dummy? Stop it. Like, you have an amazing opportunity here, which you're just throwing away to the wolves. Like, thousands, probably millions of kids around the country, around the world would love to be in the position that you're in, to be a receiver in the National Football League. So it's just, it's just a sad situation altogether because he made it. He made it through the draft to the NFL, and he made it through the draft just to come here. So it's just a little sad in the situation. But my question for you guys is, do you feel bad about what's happening to Josh Gordon? Obviously, we wish him well. Everybody wishes him well. But do you think that this is something that is beyond his control? Do you think he'll even play? That's the real question I ask. Do you think he'll come back to the NFL? And it's really a two-part question. Do you think that Josh Gordon will come back to the NFL? And do you think Johnny Manziel will make it back to the NFL? Will somebody want him? Will it be similar to Chad Johnson / Ocho Cinco or Terrell Owens, which, you know, they had to retire, but were kind of forced to because they were free agents that nobody wanted. So what say you? I want to hear from you. You can leave comments at KP the Sports Chick on YouTube and become a subscriber there. And you can always hit me up at kpthesportscheck.com, which is my social media hub. You can find anything KP the Sports Chick related there. There's a lot there to find. So check me out.